Oh, hello there. Just whipping up some whipped cream frosting here. We're gonna do a Black Forest cake today. Now, some of the stuff you can do ahead of time, like I made the cake yesterday, and then the rest of the stuff you could have done yesterday, put it all together today or whatever. Or you could just do it all at once because you have plenty of time to do it while the cake is baking. But what you want are layers, about like that. And you don't want this over here. You see the rounded top, you don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut that off with a serrated knife. And I'm just going along with the markings on the cake. This is one of the hardest parts because you can't see the other side to tell if you're cutting it even or not. But you always hope you are. There. Let's see what happens here. Well, not too bad.
Not pretty good.
But, and you don't throw this away. What you do is you put it in crumbles. You put it over here. You just pair it up in crumbles and maybe put some Oreo cookies in with it and then make bread pudding. Now this is a little off, so I'm going to shave it a little bit more right in through here. And some more crumbles. A little off right there. Okay.
Bread pudding sounds good.
Bread pudding, you know, the little rum sauce on it after it's baked. So first thing you do is, I'm using this because it has a flat surface. The ideal thing would be to use a cake platter, but I couldn't find ours, so this is what I'm using. Put that there, and then for the most important thing about the whole thing is you have to get this exactly right in this pour, and this is some cherry liqueur. Now I'm using this Herring brand because it's supposed to be the best. It's been around since 1818, so somebody likes it. And you pour it in exactly, what is it, 1/4 of a cup, like that. There. And the reason that you want it exactly
Smells good.
is because you don't want to over pour. Your shot glass.
Oh. You fooled me.
That is strong. Now, you see you have some holes in the thing, but you want to maybe poke a few more because it's not quite even. So just take a fork or something like this, do like that, and then
Don't do it.
you pour
Just a touch.
just a touch. Now, most people say brush it on,
Yeah, I would say brush it on.
but,
I do have a brush, you know.
well, the thing
You don't
about
put too much
brush
on there.
is I want to taste it. So you put that on there, then you get some whipped cream frosting. There's my froster here. You spread that on. Doesn't matter if it gets over the edges because you're going to do the edges later anyway. Now I first did this, well, I've only done it once before. That's when we lived in Seattle. That's 40 years ago. So and my memory is failing, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, if it turns out good or not. Let's see. So
Yum.
that cake had 8 layers to it. We'll just layer this up until the frosting is gone. So you do that, then you put another layer on, and you do the same thing. So I'll be back in a minute after this is already layered on up. Okay, as you see, we stopped at 4 layers. On this particular, it's rather small, it's not very wide, so we put any more layers on, I'm afraid it's going to look like the Leaning Tower of Pizza. So, not pizza, pizza. So, anyway, and I forgot to tell you about the cake. It's very easy to make. Just any cake recipe, chocolate cake. Me, I just went over to the grocery store, got a devil's food cake box and made it. All I had to do is add a couple eggs to it, 3 eggs actually. So you finish by, well, you don't finish, this is a intermediary step, This quarantine got me so I don't even talk right anymore.
Could be the cherry liqueur. No, that wouldn't be.
Oh, you accusing me of having a few sips while we weren't on camera?
Uh-huh.
Well, only had 1 sip. It was a long one though. Let's finish this up. And beautiful. It won't be if I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the taste, not for the enhanced beauty of things. Oops, almost lost some of that. Okay.
You need some more on the side facing me.
Well, I'm not going to face that to you or the camera very long. You know, you got to use some of these tricks, you know, for behind the scenes stuff. So it's going to show one side when it's done. I'll make that side pretty.
It's looking good. Getting there.
See if it tastes good.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably have to take a nap after you eat the cake.
Well, we might put it in the refrigerator while I'm taking the nap, because we do have a lot of liquid alcohol in this cake. I'm going to let it set up pretty good before I cut it. It'll be hard to wait for it, but it's another thing I've learned during this quarantine. No sense in doing anything fast because you're not going to be able to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
There, maybe have some left over for up here. A lot left over, actually.
Yeah, you could have been a little heavier on the side.
On your side?
Well,
It's always your side. I can't see your side, so it doesn't count.
whatever way you spin it is my side.
Well, also I get this side's a little lower than that other side. So I have to put
That doesn't matter.
more gunk on it.
Hopefully it won't cave in because you have so much alcohol in it.
Now, it does make for a heavy cake.
Good grief.
So, got that done. So we're going to come back in just a few minutes to finish it off.
Okay. You're on.
Yes, we have been drinking some of this. Now I'm going to put some chocolate ganache on. And this is basically 8 ounces of chocolate chips and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, where you bring the whipping cream just to a simmer and then melt it, pour it on the chocolate chips and melt it. The only thing is, I thought a carton was a cup, but it was 2 cups, so they've got twice as much here.
I have quite a bit there.
And I don't know what we're gonna do with the rest of it, but maybe we'll put it in the bread pudding. And also, I forgot to tell you what the makeup of this whipped cream frosting is. It's basically 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and a little bit of vanilla, and I can't remember what else.
You put powdered sugar
So
there.
1/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. Okay, now we're gonna pour the ganache on. And the purpose here is to let it drip over this sides to make this beautiful cascading effect. Now I'm gonna start by going around the edges, so I'm sure I have enough
Oh, you have more than enough.
to take care of this. So I've never had Grenache before, so I don't know how it works.
Ooh, too much.
Going over the
You have
edge.
too much. Oh. Yeah, it's going over the edge, all right.
Good.
That. Huh.
I gotta look and see. Oh. I'll turn that side, looks better.
Oh.
Even that up, okay.
Scruffy, you cannot have chocolate. So quit crying.
There. Now you noticed, or maybe you didn't, that I left this in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to decorate it with nice fresh cherries and everything, but this is definitely not cherry season here in Florida. So what I'm gonna do is take this pie filling stuff and just spoon that on. You could also use some of this in between the layers of the cake. And you could do your own thing. I do, as you well notice. And you probably noticed that it definitely was not level on top,
Mm-hmm.
but I did that on purpose. So it would lean towards the camera so you could get a better view. So, now we put that there. And
Oh, is that pretty?
then
Oh, no.
we put cherry covered chocolates on top.
Oh, for the presentation. That's good. Yeah,
There.
pretty.
All right, you get a nice close-up of that before we destroy it in the next episode here. There's a debate going on between the cinematographer and me about whether we should cut it right now to show you, or whether we should refrigerate it for a while to let it set.
I would refrigerate it.
And happy wife, happy life. So we'll be back in a few minutes to show you a piece of the cake. Okay, while we were away, we put together this one. Remember when we cut the top off of the cakes there and that little one? We're going to save it for the bread pudding. Well, we also put some ganache on there, some whipping cream, and some cherries. Now these cherries are pitted cherries, by the way. Of course, that doesn't mean anything. They say right on the can. There may be unpitted ones in there. Since we had plenty of ganache left, that's what we thought we'd do. But we still have enough for bread pudding. Now over to the Black Forest cake itself. It's a little lopsided and things like that, as you can see. But all things said and done, let's see how it tastes.
Looks beautiful.
So, first cut. Let's see, right about there. Well, that's all right. Let me try to get a gauge here on where to. Let's do the second cut right about like that. Now,
Let's see. Tall cake.
see if I can get it out without dropping it all over the counter here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it this way.
It jumped out. Look at that. It just jumped right out of the cake.
Yeah. Lost my cherry on that one too.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
There.
Well,
There you go.
it still looks interesting.
I'm glad I had the apron on.
Where's the top of the cake on there? Is there a top? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna see if it tastes anything like it should.
No.
I can't do the whole thing with one bite, so. Like I said, beware of fish.
They're probably the only one with a, hopefully.
I think maybe. You can taste this in here.
I bet you can.
I would say that probably if I were to do this again, I would go for a different liqueur that's a little sweeter than this is.
Uh-huh. That's a sour one.
But, you know, and some people say, well, why didn't you just mix this in with while you were making the cake? Well, that would eliminate all the alcohol, and that's really what I wanted anyway, was the alcohol. Don't really care that much about cake. So,
Oh, really? You don't care about cake?
no, not at all.
Uh-huh. That cake was supposed to be for my birthday, right?
It was, but somebody beat me to your birthday cake, so.
Yeah, that was, Robin made that beautiful pistachio cake. That was delicious. But this one looks beautiful.
This cake is so moist, you could almost put it in a glass and drink it. I'm serious, it is. It's great.
My God.
I'm not even leaving any for you. Oh, I will.
Yeah, you will. Well, that's quite an accomplishment, that cake.
And
It is beautiful.
if you want a little more cherry taste, you can spoon some of this on there. Watch out for pits. Want a little more chocolate taste, you can pour a little more.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so
You
slow.
sure do love chocolate, don't you?
I do. And for you folks that were wondering, yes, it is chocolate from Peru. So that's going to do it for this time, and don't forget to subscribe on the button below. See you next time.